The further north we came, the colder were the days. We couldn't shower with warm water for a while now, so we were ready to work for that. Because we put in our own effort, this hot shower was even more enjoyable. We were still at the same picnic place, which turned out to be one of our favorites in all of Scandinavia. If you plan to go to Lapland yourself, you should really pay it a visit. The link to a map with the exact locations is in the description. Three more hours to the north, we built up our next camp.
Echt schlecht.
Building the camp, as well as collecting and chopping wood, were part of our daily tasks. On the next day, we found the skeleton of a reindeer. We carved beautiful pendants out of the antlers. Now we were already relatively close to the Nordkapp, but it was still quite a distance. So we decided to overnight at a campsite on the way. When we crossed the border to Norway, the scenery changed immediately, which surprised us. We haven't seen a single big mountain on the 2,500 kilometers we drove through Finland, but already in the first few minutes in Norway. On this last leg of the journey to the Nordkapp, there are reindeers everywhere. And you really need to pay attention while driving, because they don't. They're not scared of cars at all. To be honest, the Nordkapp is kind of a tourist ripoff. Essentially, it is just a point, which actually isn't even the northernmost point of the European mainland, though it is close. If you want to go there nonetheless, but not pay the hefty price of 260 Norwegian crowns, which is 30 euros per person, there is a somewhat cheaty trick. The entrance fee is basically just a parking fee, so if you come by foot or by bicycle, it's free. So you could just park a kilometer before the toll booth and walk the rest. The visitor center itself is interesting and modern. There is a really well-made panorama film and other beautifully decorated sites. But in an hour or two you will have seen it all. Our journey doesn't end here, of course. We still have 4 weeks left for the majestic nature of Norway. At a resting place, someone dumped a bathtub. Paddy thought this was the perfect opportunity for a nice hot bath. But heating up like 60 liters over a campfire takes quite a bit of time.
2 hours later.
And oh my, it was worth it. The most effective method turned out to be heating up big stones in the fire. Enjoying a hot bath under the stars in northern Norway is something you will only do once in your life. We had to realize that driving in Norway takes a long time. Because of all the fjords you drive down and up again, a linear distance of 50 kilometers can easily be 120 on the road. But that didn't bother us at all, because driving with these views is just amazing. In the Fjord, a place where around 40 people live far from any city, we coincidentally met a woman from Switzerland. She bought a house in the fjord and just moved there 1 week earlier. She gave us a lot of useful tips for Norway and recommended to hike up the mountain behind her house. Apparently dolphins and whales are regular visitors of this fjord. After 2 hours walking straight up, Paddy had problems with his knees and couldn't go on much longer. Because we had no clue how much further away the top was, we put the drone to work. Like this, we saw that it was only 100 meters further up, maybe 20 minutes walking. So we moved on. We were really glad that we didn't turn around before. What a view! And we only had to share it with a few reindeers. We could sleep on the property of the Swiss expat. In return, we shared our beers and stories with her. In the next episode, we'll be in the picturesque Lofoten Islands.